Hello there, welcome to this week's weekly psychic forecast for week commencing the 23rd of January 2023. I'm liking that 23 numerology coming through there. Welcome back. Sorry it's been a little while. I'm back. If you haven't already watched my predictions for the whole of 2023, I will link to that video above. Please go and watch that because that will be very interesting, hopefully, to you. Right, so without further ado, let's dive on in. Let's take a look at the overview of this week. Then we will go day by day, looking at the energy tendencies of each day of the week, finishing up with a spiritual guidance message at the end. So, overview of the week. This week's cards, we have number 1, Spirit, the vast universe. We have number 55, Snake Spirit, time to heal. And number 2, the waiting game. Okay. So it's very cold here at the moment as well. And so I'm not really surprised to see these types of cards coming up. It's very much about, it doesn't feel like the moment to charge forwards at the moment. There's certainly a reminder here that we are one with spirit. So I would say that spiritual practice could actually be highlighted this week. This is a very spiritual year. As I mentioned in my annual forecast, we are in a number 7 energy year now, and it is a very special year. All bets are off this year as well. Really, anything could happen. It's going to be an interesting one. Very spiritual energy this week. I'm liking it a lot. And the shake shedding its skin, the snake spirit, time to heal. The shake snedding. Little tongue twister there. On 55, and I like that because the 5 kind of looks like a snake as well. So it's really beautiful. Everything about this card I love. But it feels as well that it could be emotional, mental baggage that we're getting rid of this week, which can actually come in the form of spiritual and physical clearings as well. Like if we've done a lot of spiritual work or a lot of emotional work, healing, if we've been in, counselling, therapy, or just energy healing, whatever it is, we could be expanding our spiritual practice, and that of course brings an element of healing in with it too. Yoga is incredibly healing. Very often we can go into a phase of sort of physically letting go of things too, because the physical body is of course the densest aspect of us. It is the physical, it's the part of us that's vibrating at the slowest rate, which means it's the slowest part to catch up. So you may be finding that your body is catching up with some healing work that you've done previously. That's certainly been the case for me. I am filming this on Monday. I'm already noticing that this week as the week kicks off, and I'm hearing that from other people too. So that could well be a trend for you. So I do want to say it's not really a week for rushing forwards. With the waiting game here, it is about waiting. It is about biding your time, assessing what's happening, waiting for the right moment, because it doesn't feel like a week for charging forwards. It will be soon. We're starting to get a glimpse of that energy now, when we will need to and we will want to actually move forwards, but I don't feel it's here quite yet for most of us anyway. We have just come out of Mercury retrograde, Mars is direct again. Things are starting to feel a bit more sensible, a bit more balanced for us, and we're starting to sort of get our head back in the right place. If you're anything like me, my head just hasn't been in the right place to get anything done business wise, work wise. It's been very difficult to gather my thoughts. That will be getting back on track, but give yourself time, I want to say, because we've been through a lot these past few months, these past few weeks. It's been sort of a difficult energetic season that we've just been going through. So yes, I mean, we are in January. I like how we got a number 1 over here because we are in the first month of the year. And I don't agree that that January in general is generally a good time for new beginnings. It's kind of not, because we're in the middle of winter in the Northern Hemisphere. I mean, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it could be very different, of course, or in a different part of the world, on the equator or wherever, it can be very different. But certainly where I live, it never feels quite right, although you might think you're supposed to. But I want to say this week, don't should yourself. If people are trying to say, oh, you should do this, you should do that, you should start this new thing, you should do this new project, you should start this new hobby, sport, routine, whatever it is, it doesn't feel like it's quite the right moment for that. There's still too much healing to be done. There's still a lot for us to catch up with on the physical level as well. So I would actually say this week to spend more time in spiritual practice if you can, in prayer and meditation, in self-healing, do a Reiki session on yourself. That's always wonderful to do. We can't get enough of that. Detoxing is also a strong theme that's coming up this week as well, something I'm very drawn to do myself at the moment as well. So, in whatever shape that takes for you, whether it's, fasting, eating or certain things, or avoiding certain foods, whether it's you know, special detox foot baths, which is something I'm very interested in at the moment as well. I might do a video about that if you want me to. Put a comment if you want me to do a video about foot detox baths, because I will do it. You know I will. This channel is all about holistic well-being and holistic living at the end of the day, and that is why I started Angel Wings Holistics in the first place, was to help people. You know, and holistic means whole, so it's about living our whole being our whole being. And being in balance in all aspects of self. And of course the spiritual is a very big part of that. So let's take a look, see what other energies we have from my little spirit message oracle here. Okay, what advice do we have from Spirit? Growth starts small, doesn't it just? Okay. We are all unique and we are all one. I went out to look at my carrots earlier and they're so tiny. They're like literally like this big. They're adorable. The road is long. It is higher expression, lower expression. Okay. Yeah, it does feel like there is a coming together of the higher and lower aspects of self at the moment, and there's a lot of wisdom coming through from that. So you may be having a lot of spiritual experiences, you may be having a lot of wisdom coming through, you know, even if just in your day-to-day and thoughts just coming through to you, seemingly from nowhere, you know, coming from higher aspects of self, coming from your guides or angels, etc. And there is very much this... It feels like a clarity coming through at the moment, helping us to understand things on a deeper level, perhaps even realigning ourselves, our lives to be to work more for the collective rather than for the individual. So there's interesting thoughts going on there. There is a reminder that if we do have these new plans that we want to start, like I mentioned, you know, it does have to be step by step. It does have to be start from the beginning, and it does all take time. And there's a reason that we have to do things in order, and that's okay, because Rome wasn't built in a day. And the road is long, so there is this reminder here, if you're struggling for motivation, or if you're struggling to keep going with something that you are supposed to do, that you already started, or that you are, you know, currently doing. It could be your work, it could be, you know, spiritual practice, it could be hobbies, it could just be interest, things that you want to get done. Don't despair. Yes, it's kind of a heavy energy, it's tired energy, and there's a reason for that. We've been through a lot energetically, we have a lot to heal. You know, we've just had the new moon in Aquarius, which I think was on Sunday. We've just had the new lunar year as well on the 22nd, also on Sunday. So, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of energy to deal with, you know. Don't push yourself too hard. Everything will happen in the time it is meant to happen. Don't worry. Yes, you can get on and do it. But right now, focus on healing, focus on you. And listen to that wisdom when it comes through, because it's coming through quite strongly at the moment. Okay, so love life this week. Interesting. Okay, so it's a nice time for healing relationships this week as well, I want to say. Perhaps an opportunity for quality time together if you can take it, you know, even if it's just half an hour. Quality time doesn't mean quantity time. It doesn't have to be long periods of time together. But certainly there is romance in the air, so there is change coming in potentially for singletons here, or for people looking for new relationships. There could be an interesting meeting coming up this week. Yes, but if you are in a relationship, it is very much... Oh, that's lovely. Sharing the load and work together for each other. Yes, there is certainly this feeling of camaraderie coming through, of working as a team. Very beautiful energy coming through for people already in relationships, or starting relationships. You know, it feels like it is a week to be working together, to be supporting each other. Very, very important right now. And if that's not the case in your relationship, you might need to look at why that is, what's going on there. Yes, another anxieties and fears coming up as well is other things that you or your partner are worried about, scared of, that you're not talking about, that you're not voicing. So there is this kind of undercurrent of worry, I think, for some people in your relationships. For others, it's wonderful. I think you can really deepen your relationship by working together, by really helping and supporting each other through this time. But listen to that nagging doubt, if it's there, you know, the nagging anxieties, the nagging fears. If they're there, pay attention to them and try and see what's at the bottom of them, okay? It could be something in you that needs to be healed. It's not necessarily that the relationship's doomed, of course. It could be something in you. But do pay attention, because there will be things that need to change, because we do have 3710. So I do want to say... you know, there could be a need for a bit of a shake-up in your relationship, or something completely new. Let's just have a look at money for this week as well. What's going on with our finances? This is not financial advice, for the record. None of this is financial advice. These readings are for entertainment purposes only. Okay, I used to work in the corporate world, can you tell? Right. give to receive, not to get, and poverty isn't holy. Right, okay, and off the bottom, Fool's Gold, number 3. Okay, interesting. So these are some interesting cards here. Give to receive, not to get on 41.5. Poverty isn't holy on 53.8. And Fool's Gold on 3. I really feel like our beliefs around money, finance, how to accumulate money, how to get things, I feel like some of those beliefs are going to come into question, come under magnifying scope this week. So it feels like we're being asked to look at the financial paradigm that we exist in, that we're being asked to question things, to ask questions and see what is actually true and what isn't. So poverty isn't holy, you know, what is true? Do you give to get? Do you give to receive? Do you give to martyr yourself? You know, what are you doing yourself with your finances? Are you taking bad advice? Are you doing things that aren't sensible? Are you spending all your money when you actually mean to save it? Are there things undermining you and your ambitions for the amount of money that you want and maybe need for the lifestyle that you'd like to have, or to acquire a house, whatever it is? So I think it's an interesting week as far as money goes. Definitely we're going to be asking ourselves some questions, I think, about how we've been doing things, and it could be time for something new, because we do have this number 3 here, which is the divine blueprint. So it could be a new way of actually doing things financially. Also look out for financial scams, I want to say, this week with the Fool's Gold card. Look out for financial scams, don't fall for those. So let's pop these to one side and we will move on to Monday. So Monday's cards, let's see, we have number 4, cycle decrease. We have number 38, lizard spirit, dream the world into being. And we have number 20, truth. Okay. So interesting. So we're starting off the week kind of with a whimper. it's coming in gently, the energy this week, I think. And I am filming this on Monday, so I'm already feeling the energy today. It's kind of taking it a bit easy. We don't need to go too quickly. There is no need to rush right now. And you may be enjoying taking a load off, taking things slowly, maybe having a duvet day, maybe having a day off if you're able to. Or if you work for yourself, you know, you may have not been in too much of a rush to get going this morning. If you did have to go to work, you might have really felt it as well. In an office, for example, you might have really felt a bit of a strain getting going today. And it is particularly cold here as well at the moment. I don't know about where you live, but we've had very cold temperatures, which are unusual for us here, shall we say. We're not used to getting it quite this cold on a regular basis. So everything feels a bit sluggish, and lizards in particular are, you know, being cold-blooded beings, they're very sluggish in the cold. They don't really move very much, and some of them sort of go into some sort of hibernation state. I don't know a lot about lizards. I'm not here to tell you about animals today, but there's this really sluggish feel today, and that's okay. And I just want to say it's okay to feel sluggish. You know, that we're in a decreasing cycle. The energy is not one of creation, of starting something new, of moving forwards, of succeeding, of making things bigger. It's kind of I want to say not weighing us down exactly, although we may feel a bit weighed down. It's more kind of letting go of things, like I said. So you may be finding you're letting go of things. You may be getting rid of clutter today. You may be drawn to get rid of something, you know, or maybe to step away from a friendship or an association. There may also be a desire to purify the body, to detoxify the body as well. That could be something. You might want to quit a bad habit. You might want to quit an addiction. There could be something there to look at. So if you feel you want to look at that today, this is good energy to actually do that, to let go of things today, rather than hold on to them or acquire new things. So okay, you may also find that your body may be detoxing, perhaps without you wanting or knowing it. So you may find how do I put this politely on YouTube so I don't want to get banned? You may find yourself having something of a physical release, shall we say. That can come in the form of sneezing, crying, or other things coming out of the body through different orifices. That's all I'm going to say. Right, so yeah, you might not be feeling your best. You might be feeling a little bit sick, perhaps bad tummy. You know, that can also be a sign of actually letting go of things energetically, because there is a lot to let go of at the moment. But it's okay, because with the Truth card here, I think things are getting clearer. And this is what I was saying, clarity is coming in this week. So you may be starting to feel clearer on what it is you want to do, even if you don't feel like you're bouncing around with the energy to actually do it just yet. The ideas are forming, the clarity is coming in. And that in itself is a very important stage in bringing change and positivity into your life, bringing the things you want. First of all, you have to get really clear on what it is that you want. Because if we just jump, the second we have an idea, we can end up jumping all over the place and actually achieving nothing. And that's not what we want this year. Oh, okay. Right. Cat energy. I say that, Bedford's outside my room at the moment. He's been doing the big eyes at me because he's very annoyed that I won't sit down and cuddle with him, and instead I'm recording this for you guys. So I hope you appreciate I'm incurring Bedford's wrath for you today. He may let himself in a bit. So, cat energy, guardian angel on 27. Say yes and see what happens. Higher expression, lower expression. Yeah. Interesting. So cat energy generally to me talks about boundaries, but I kind of feel like it's a bit aloof today. There's a bit of an aloof feel, so you might be feeling aloof, other people might be aloof with you, or just generally the energy is kind of aloof. We don't kind of feel like we want to do much or really see many people, but there's a very loving angelic energy coming through with the guardian angel card coming through, just a little reminder that even if we're on our own, we're not alone. Of course, we are protected, we are taken care of. There's always that supportive guardian angel energy there with you, regardless of what is happening in your life. And of course, many people going through challenges at this point in time. So say yes and see what happens. Now that is an interesting card to pop up today. So there is a suggestion, and it's not really a start something new energy, but I feel it's kind of more like going with the flow, especially with the water on this card here and the cat energy card, which is a little bit aloof. I kind of want to say go with the flow a little bit on Monday. Don't try to be too pushy. Don't try to force things to happen. Be still, yeah. Be still, go with the flow. Yeah, like you are still in the river of energy. Let the river take you where it wants to go, and things are going to get a lot clearer. I think don't try to fight against the tide today. Just kind of go with it. Higher expression, lower expression coming out for the second time. We had that in the overview as well. So yeah, it does feel like the higher aspects of self really want to communicate with the lower aspects. So it's your higher self, it's your higher wisdom, it's your angels, your spirit guides, God, goddess, coming through to bring a lot of wisdom through and really to help you to gain that clarity. I feel like it's not going to land in your lap. It's not just going to be given to you, but ideas coming in, sort of seeping through at the edges like water. Again, it's this very watery energy coming in. It does feel like inspiration could be starting to come in, but it's coming in gently and slowly. It's not coming in with a, oh my goodness, I have to do this now kind of energy. It's coming in with a, oh, I could do that. Hadn't thought of that. Okay. I wonder what that would look like. It's kind of more of a dreamy energy coming in today. So certainly a good day to dream about the future, to imagine what things could look like, and just kind of go with your thoughts, go with your feelings and see where it takes you. And I think that your future plans, whether it's your work, your relationships, your family, whatever it is that you're aiming for, trying to achieve at the moment or would like to change, will start to sort of take shape in your mind. I think you will start to get that clarity. So it's an interesting day. Not a particularly sociable day. I would say it's a nice day to have a day out, to step away from people, to guard your energy a little bit as well. There could be some energy vampires around. Let's have a look at romantic prospects for Monday. Let's take a look at the romance cards. We have Stronger Together. That's very nice. Whoops. Okay. I always do that, make a mess of the cards. Right. Sweets, chocolates and roses. Hard won results. Oh, that's lovely. And rose quartz. I think I picked rose quartz as my crystal for this year, actually. I can't remember because these messages come through me, not from me. You've got to remember that. Candy Girl. Right, we might be a little bit idealistic today. There is a possibility we might be a little bit too dreamy with this dreamy energy coming through on Monday. So do try to be a little bit realistic. Try not to dissociate and go off in a little fantasy land today when it comes to your relationship. Be clear about who everyone is and who the other person is, or who the object of your desires is. Yeah, rose quartz, which is nice because I've got two big rose quartzes here. Bring some of that in if you feel that resonates for you today. It's something you can wear or carry or just hold for a moment and resonate with that energy. Perhaps meditate on the energy of rose quartz as well if you would like to see improvement in your relationships, or if you would like to attract a relationship, a romantic relationship to you. I feel that would be very helpful. Also helpful for friendships because it is a very gentle pink colour. It's not excessively sexual or anything, you know, so it's a very gentle, loving energy. So, stronger together. Yes, I do feel in couples, I think there is this, with these two cards, I want to bring them together, stronger together and hard won results. I want to say try to appreciate your partner if you are in a relationship. Try to appreciate them, show them a little bit of appreciation. We have got the sweets, chocolates and roses, so maybe just show them how much you care. I think that will go down very well today. Try to do something thoughtful for them, but don't expect too much, I want to say, because then the energy is low. It's not the highest energy. Don't think, oh well, I'll do this thing for them and then they will, you know, take me to Barbados or something. You know, one step at a time. It's a difficult energy that we're in, so try to show some appreciation, show some gratitude, I want to say, for your loved one today. I think that will be very helpful. And if you are looking for a relationship as well, I do want to say try and stay grounded, but also, yeah, meditate with rose quartz, and I think that you could find some really helpful romantic advice coming through there. And that goes for, you know, if you're in a relationship as well. Meditation with rose quartz, I think, would be very helpful. And literally all you need to do is just, you know, put it in your hands while you are meditating. Maybe ask it to guide you. Remember to cleanse the crystal beforehand, before you start. Okay, let's look at money for Monday. Finances. What's going on there energetically? So, what have we got? Coming soon. Oh, that's exciting. There's a sense of anticipation in the financial markets, I feel. Great fortune. Oh my goodness, coming soon, great fortune. Yes, please. I think we'd all like that, wouldn't we? Sensible investments. Interesting. Sensible investments underpinning great fortune. So I feel there is real financial opportunity around at the moment. Wisdom and wealth. And generosity of heart, mind and wallet. Yes. Interesting. I really feel like there's great opportunity in today's energetically, but it requires that you stay level-headed, that you are sensible about it. I said in the weekly overview not to fall for like get rich quick schemes or any scams out there, because goodness knows there are plenty of those around at the moment. But I do want to say there is opportunity. This is a time of opportunity, so pay attention to what crosses your bows today, you know, what comes into your consciousness. Treat everything, of course, look at it with wisdom. Very important. Look at it with wisdom. Make sure that it is something that's sensible for you. Get advice if necessary. And there is this very sensible card here, but it comes in on number 7, which is very spiritual. So at the same time, I do want to say listen to your financial spirit guides. If you don't know who your financial spirit guide is, it doesn't matter. Just call them in. Okay, they will show up for you, or call in money angels to help you with this. And remember to be generous as well, because, you know, we can forget that it is important to give. Okay, and it is part of the cycle of receiving. Giving is a part of that cycle. If you want to receive, then give. Remember to give, you know. Don't be selfish today. I want to say financially, don't be selfish. Do be sensible, but there are some very big opportunities out there, so it'd be very interesting to see what's going on in the markets on a more sort of international, international scale. And I don't know, I'm not about that, you know, but I feel there could be some new and original ideas, some new and original possibilities coming in, and I think if you're discerning, you could actually make a lot of money. But don't listen to me, because I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, so let's take a look at Tuesday now. So let's take a look at Tuesday's cards. For Tuesday, we have number 3, Spirit, Intuition and Manifestation. Whoops. We have number 65, the Whale Spirit, trying to fly off. Trust the Great Mystery. And we have number 1, Awareness. Wow, this is a very spiritual energy to come in on Tuesday there. Very spiritual indeed. Beautiful day for spiritual practice. Wonderful day for inspiration. You may be feeling very inspired. There's a very devotional feel here as well for Tuesday. I want to say a lot of wisdom coming in. 6511, and then we have a 1 next to it. So 111 could be a number that shows up for you today, or 1111. You might notice 1111. certainly an interesting energy, very beautiful. Again, very watery. And I mean that in a figurative sense. It's not necessarily going to be tipping down with rain where you are, or flooding, hopefully. So it's a very kind of, it's almost a Pisces energy coming through. And I kind of felt that a bit for Monday as well, which is interesting because we're actually in Aquarius season at the moment. We're not in Pisces as yet. But it's that kind of wisdom coming in at the moment. Very, very beautiful energy. Asking you to trust as well, and to be aware of your guides, to know what's going on, to really listen to the intuition today, to really understand that there are so many different layers to this reality that we live in, rather than just the sort of obvious physical one that we can perceive with the lower five senses. There is so much more that we must pay attention to on Tuesday. I think that's particularly important if we want to get anywhere or do anything. I think for some people it will literally go over their heads, but a lot of people are going to sense that something's happening, something big is happening on Tuesday. And again, that there's a lot of wisdom actually in the system, in the ether. So you may be inspired to write, to paint, to draw, to speak, to make a video or share something. There's this very inspiring, inspirational wisdom energy coming through for Tuesday, which could play out in any number of ways. It could come through in a very practical way in the workplace. You may find yourself being able to help and guide people or come up with new ideas and systems to. But again, it's more of a guidance energy on Tuesday. It's almost like some people sort of step into the shoes of spirit guides on some level. But, in human form, let's stay humble. There is a very sort of spirit guide energy to Tuesday for some people. I think it's going to be very interesting. And there is an opportunity as well to, again, it's dreaming about the future, thinking about this future. You can see this beautiful little village in here in the crystal ball that maybe this girl is manifesting or dreaming about. So there is this huge potential for the future. And I think it's a powerful day for manifesting generally, on a personal level, but also for manifesting the world that we want to see, this new world that we want for us, for humanity, for the people, for the animals, for nature, for all of us, not just for the elites who can live wonderful lives while the rest of us are peasants. That is not the future that is destined for us. That is not what is intended for humankind, although some people will choose that, and that's their choice. But I ain't been no peasant, okay? Just saying. I went very Vicky Pollard there. I don't know when that happened. I did used to live in Bristol, so I suppose I can own that. Right. Okay, what else have we got here? No mud, no lotus. Yeah, very sacred energy coming through. It really is. Every master was once a disaster. I love that saying. No mud, no lotus. Yeah, we do have to go through the crap to reach the spiritual heights. I saw a really interesting quote from Jung today on Instagram. I'm going to try and remember it. It's something about in order to reach the heavens you must be rooted in darkness. So it's about understanding the darkness as well as the light, understanding our own darkness without shunning it, and integrating and healing the dark and shadow aspects of self so that we can reach the light, because you can't reach the true light without it. And I do hear people talking in various circles about the false light. Oh, beware of the false light. And it occurred to me that the false light is just the light without the darkness. Okay, if we don't understand the darkness as well and we just try to stay, oh, I'm only light, well, you're not in that case. Okay, you're not. You have to be able to understand both. That's why the yin and yang is black and white together, in perfect harmony. We need to balance all aspects of the self. We need to heal all aspects of the self. We can't ignore those darker aspects. We need to heal them, love them, bring them back in, so that we can be truly whole. No is a complete sentence. Yes, it is. Okay, so again, boundaries may be necessary. And I want to say as well, if you're bringing in an energy of innovation or new ideas, bringing ideas to people, and everybody's teaching you something about yourself. Lovely. And you may be literally teaching other people today. There's a very wise kind of hermit energy coming through today. Very wise. I mean, this is the Magician, this card in a traditional tarot deck. Number one would be the Magician in the Major Arcana. Very empowered energy, someone who's able to create, to manifest, to wield the powers of the universe. Very wise. And I think you may be teaching, leading, guiding others on Tuesday, but remember that other people are teaching you as well. And some of the best teachers are the people who are disruptive, who are difficult, who challenge us. They are the ones we learn the most from. We don't have to like them, but they are teaching us something about ourselves. They may be shedding light, casting light on something that needs to be healed within us by poking something that isn't healed. Okay, so pay attention to who irks you on Tuesday, because That's the bit of you that needs healing. Whatever it is, whatever button they've pushed, that's the button that you need to work on. But yes, no is a complete sentence. It absolutely is. There is a need for self-authority. I want to say self-authority, self-sovereignty on Tuesday. And it doesn't matter if nobody else agrees with you, nobody else agrees with your vision, nobody else agrees with your ideas. It really doesn't matter, because this is about your spiritual path right now, and that is incredibly important. And as long as you are being genuine and you are genuinely doing your best to heal all aspects of self, and a lot of people don't do that. Okay, they might say that they do, but most people don't heal their shadow. Okay, it's not very popular because it's horrible, horrifically painful, difficult work. I know as somebody who is engaged in doing it, and I've been doing it for a number of years now, very difficult, very painful, very long and drawn out. It's not easy. And it requires radical self-honesty as well, which most people are not prepared, well, many people are not prepared to even consider. It's just too much. But it is necessary. So, if you are in a difficult, dark place right now, I want you to know that you are streets ahead of the people who've got the blinders on, the blinkers on, saying, oh no, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm fine. Okay, who've never considered that maybe they should scratch the surface and have a look at what hides beneath, what lies beneath that shiny veneer. To do that intense healing work. And it is intense for some people. So if you're on that healing path, if you're in a very dark, difficult place at the moment on that healing path, you're doing a great job. And I just want to reflect that back to you today. So we're going to take a look at the energy for romance today as well. Let's take a look at our little romance oracle cards here. See what we've got. The energy for Tuesday. We have flash in the pan. Okay. We have sharing the load. Interesting. Not into it. Yeah, beware of people's motivations today. Be very careful, especially if you're single with children. Be very careful. Do not introduce people too soon to your kids. If you are single, if you are looking for a relationship or starting a relationship, beware of people who are not what they seem to be right now. If it seems too good to be true, I want you to be extremely cautious today. Sometimes, people genuinely are wonderful and they are good, but I feel like today there is a possibility, and again, this is where no is a complete sentence comes in. Okay, somebody's flirting with you and you get kind of this vibe and you're not sure what it is and you think, oh no, I should give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. Okay, not everyone deserves that. All right, if your intuition is telling you this person doesn't feel right, listen to that. Okay. Lovely. Celebration anniversary on 50. So for some people in the relationships, it could actually be some sort of landmark coming up. I mean, obviously some people are going to have their anniversaries today. Everyone has anniversaries happen every day of the year, without exception. I don't get any prizes for saying that. That's obvious. But it feels like some real landmarks, I think. And it may not be an anniversary as such per se. It may not be like an anniversary of getting together, of getting married, or getting engaged, or whatever it is. It may just be some sort of landmark in the relationship where you feel like you can look back and actually appreciate some of the things that happened in your relationships. And it could be to do with children as well. It may not be necessarily just a romantic partner, but there is a very lovely feel of looking back. I have to take that song in my head now, looking back over my shoulder, okay. Which isn't a helpful song, actually. It's quite a sad song, but perhaps acknowledging where we could have done better, but also that there's kind of a bittersweet energy to it. It's, yes, looking at things that were wonderful and things that we've done, and it could be to do with our family, our children, but grandchildren, cousins, nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, but there's a bittersweet feel to it. So it could also be getting clearer on a deeper, more spiritual level about perhaps where we could have done better, things that we regret, things that maybe we don't feel so proud of. And that's okay too. Okay, that's important to have those moments of reflection, so self-reflection coming up potentially in relationships there. But I do want to say, beware of people who seem a little bit too good to be true. If the energy is off, it's off. Okay, it's probably not the right person. It's always up to your intuition, go with your wisdom on it. But remember, no is a complete sentence. If you say no to someone and they still insist, you don't have to be polite. Okay, I'm talking mostly to the ladies in the audience right now. You don't have to be polite. You can say no. You can say F off if needs be. Okay, you've got my permission to do that. Sharing the load Interesting. There could be somebody coming in who is pretending to be a friend. I want to say in friendships as well as in romantic relationships today, beware of people who appear to want to help you. Okay, I want to put some caution in there. Beware of people who pretend they want to help you, but they have a hidden agenda. All right, that feels like there could be people around in this energy. Beware of people who are pretending to be someone who wants to guide and help you, because the energy is all about guiding, helping, spiritual guidance. You could have someone who steps in who seems wonderful and is actually very two-faced or very shallow. And I've met people like that, you know, very often very highly narcissistic, you know, they're full of themselves and you realise it eventually. But be aware that not everybody who offers to help actually wants to help. Okay, they may only want to help you to get something. And we had that card right at the beginning, which is, you know, about not giving to get. Beware of people giving to get today, is what I want to say. So let's take a look at money and finance for Tuesday. What have we got here? Let's ask the money oracle. We have, you deserve abundance. Yes, you do. Has anyone ever told you that? If they haven't, I'm telling you now. You deserve abundance. I deserve abundance. Crystallized assets. Okay. Raise your vibration. Yep. Fool's gold. Oh, again? We had that one yesterday. We had that for Monday as well. Interesting. All right. So there is certainly a suggestion to work on feelings of deserving, whether feelings of worthiness when it comes to finances. You know, if you're thinking, oh, I wish I could buy X, Y, Z, I wish I could afford that, I wish I could do this, I want to buy a house. You know, for a lot of people it is buying a house or a car or some large asset like that, and it just feels like it's too far away. There is a suggestion here to work on energetically feeling worthy of actually having those things so that they can come into being. Okay, so they can crystallize and actually form into being for you. Yeah, it's interesting. I am going to bring in Fool's Gold here because pyrite, that's Fool's Gold. Pyrite is actually a wonderful crystal to work with when it comes to abundance and money. All right, so it's not always like, oh, it's Fool's Gold, it's rubbish, it's not gold, it's not worth anything. Absolutely not true at all. It's a very powerful energy, and it forms in cubes as well, so it carries the energy of number 4, which is very intensely practical. Okay, can be quite an exhausting energy as well, can be quite tiring, but it brings things into matter. 4 brings things into matter. 4 is the number where the idea comes into matter. So you may actually want to work with Fool's Gold or bring some into your meditation practice, into your manifesting practice, or just get some, maybe carry it in your pocket, maybe meditate with it, maybe just attune yourself to the energy of Fool's Gold, because it will actually help you to achieve things, all right? All that glitters is not gold, for sure, but pyrite is a very powerful manifesting tool. So I'm just going to leave that there for you. So let's move on to Wednesday now. Okay, so moving on to Wednesday the 25th of January, Burns Night in Scotland. Right, have a drink for me if you're celebrating. We have number 4, Energy, True Love. Number 10, Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. And number 5, Obstacles and Challenges. Wow. Interesting energy for Wednesday. So this is an interesting energy. Just had to pause there for a moment and really kind of sink into it because it drew me in. Yeah. It does feel like Wednesday could be a little bit complicated. It could be a difficult day. It could be something of, I get the word struggle coming up for Wednesday. And of course, with the obstacles and challenges card, it does show us that there is something to be addressed. There is work to be done. But equally that the universe will provide the solutions. We just have to be prepared to take them. Again, that is very much usually the answer. It's like, here's the solution, but I'm not taking it. Oh, there's the path I need to walk on, but I'm not doing it. Why? I don't know. And a lot of it does come down to worthiness. So I do want to talk about self-love today and true love. And of course, your first and most important relationship is with yourself. You should be your own true love. You should be, I don't want to should you, you know, I don't like that word, but you are the most important person in your world, and it's helpful if you can have a good relationship with yourself, if there is love there, if there is appreciation for the self, and also a strong sense of worthiness. I want to say I want to talk about looking after the physical body today, because we do have the woman in the red dress, not like in the Matrix. She's not going to turn into an agent. But I do want to talk about the root chakra very much with her, because she is wearing this beautiful red. So the root chakra, the base chakra, the one right at the bottom of the torso, it is about the physical body, the physical being, meeting our most basic needs. Are your basic needs being met? Okay, I just want to ask you, are your basic needs being met? And if not, why not? Okay, and are they not being met because of you, is my question. What could you do to love yourself better? What could you do to take care of yourself better right now? Are there things that you could change, that you could do, that you're not doing because you don't feel worthy on some level, or because you don't deserve them on some level, or you don't love yourself, and perhaps even on some level you're punishing yourself? You know, self-punishment is a real thing. It can really hold us back in the most terrible way. But it doesn't have to. And there's a very nurturing energy that comes through from the buffalo today, very loving, nurturing energy, reminding us that, you know, each day is a new day. Each day is a new start. You can have a new start if you want it. You can change course. You can change path. If this path doesn't lead anywhere, take a different one. Change it. See what happens. It's okay. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to do something differently. You don't have to continue on a path just because you've started it. You know, it's the sunken cost fallacy. Oh, well, I've spent all this time and effort doing this thing, so I'm going to continue doing it even though it's going to take me to my doom. You know? Okay, I'm being a little bit dramatic there, but you get my meaning. You know, it's very kind of Indiana Jones energy on this card. I always think that I was walking across this like, I don't know, stone beam or something over an abyss. It's kind of terrifying. And you may be very afraid of what is to come, you know, of the future. And if you do need to press on, you do need to move forwards, just know that the obstacles and challenges, they're not as serious as they look. You can get on, you can get over them. That's actually not a very big gap. It's just terrifying because you're looking right down into the abyss, into the valley below, into whatever crevice this is down here. And there is no need for you to fall into it. But look at the bottom here, there is water. And water very often can represent emotion. So it could be some very deep, dark emotions that are buried very deep. And that could be what you're afraid of. That could be what you're afraid of falling into. Okay. So, but you don't have to. And I think self-love, self-healing, again highlighted for Wednesday. This is going to make for an interesting Burns night. There could be some tears. I think some people could get quite emotional this year as well. Very interesting energy. But remember, you can find your way through. You can logically think your way through. Okay, pull in the logic of the higher mind. Okay, as well as God's mind. All right, there is no problem that doesn't have some solution, that doesn't have some resolution or other. You can always find a way to improve things, even if you don't get exactly what you thought you wanted. Okay. So, but very nurturing, loving energy. So be kind to yourself today, please. Be kind to yourself. Show yourself some love and appreciation. Take care of your body. Eat and drink the right things. Okay. Feathers from heaven. Oh, that's lovely. A little bit of support there. Look for the feathers on the way. You know, if the white feathers show up, your angels are trying to tell you that they're there with you. And again, it's 46, so it's another 10. 46, 10, 1. So very loving energy. Love coming into the matrix. I want to say a lot of love coming down from heaven with that 46-10-1. Abundance is for everyone. Yes, it is. And if you don't feel worthy, just remind yourself abundance is for everyone. You don't have to be special to be deserving, to be worthy. Okay. It comes in on 33, which is the Christ consciousness. Okay, and I know a lot of people freak out when they see that number because they're like, oh, it's the Masons, oh, it's evil. Well, no, 33 is just a number. Okay. People can use it however they want, but it's just a number. And in numerology, the positive aspect of 33 is the Christ consciousness, the second coming, that can potentially come through all of us. And that is how worthy you are. You can embody the Christ consciousness. Don't you realise how special that makes you? Take time to heal. Yeah, if you need some time out today, please take some time out. Healer, healing, heal some whole. No is a complete sentence again. Okay, I think we had this one yesterday. Yeah, boundaries. Don't let people take your energy. Again, this is kind of a day to be aware of who the energy vampires are in your life. I'm just being guided to bring in my numerology dice here as well. Sorry about my my Mickey Mouse hoodie that I'm wearing here, and I do apologise. I don't normally buy things from Disney, but this was just a cheap one from Primark. It just happened to have Mickey Mouse on it, I'm afraid, so that's just what we have. It was the only one that I could afford, and it's really nice and warm and cuddly, so sorry. Sorry to anyone who doesn't like Disney. I'm not a fan of the Disney company myself. Take time to heal. I am going to bring in some... These are actually for like Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm not sure if the people who play games like that just realise how powerful these are, what these are, because they are like platonic solids. They are very interesting, powerful shapes. You know, we're working with numbers and sacred geometry here. This is incredibly powerful, and these are really wonderful. I love using these for divination. I don't play Dungeons and Dragons myself. I only use these for divination, but I really love them for that. So a healing day. So we're actually going to ask for some information about healing today. So let's see what we've got. Oops. We have 40, 12, 18. You know, 18 wants to come out a lot at the moment. I'm noticing that. 3, 5, 6, and another 3. Okay. Interesting. All right, so we've got 12, which reduces to 3, and then we've got 2 3s here as well. We've got 18, 18, 9, 5, 6, and 40. And on 18, very often it is a nudge to actually heal, to do some emotional healing, perhaps from difficult times in the past, perhaps from abuse, from trauma. I feel there could be that nudge there, and that can help you to feel worthy, because you may have never felt worthy, and you may not even know what that's supposed to feel like, okay? And if that's the case, that's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to do something about it. So if this is the nudge you needed to actually work with a counsellor or do some healing on yourself, here it is. Here's the nudge. I want to mention Patrick Teahan as well. You can look him up on YouTube. I'm going to link to his channel below. I'm also going to link to the Crappy Childhood Fairy. They're both people that I very much respect and appreciate their work. So I'll just link to those if those resonate for anyone watching. So number 40, really love that number of viability. Yes, you are viable. Yes, you are deserving. You can have what you want, and you can change your life. You can change what it looks like. And the 3s. I want to bring in the 3s here as well, because... and there's 3 sitting on 4 energy, because we've got 3 on a tetrahedron, which has 4 sides, and 3 on a dice, which obviously is made of squares. And I want to talk about 3 and 4 energy working together here. So 3 is the divine blueprint. It is the new idea. It is the inspiration that comes through. It is the ether. It is the empress. But it's being brought into matter with the energy of 4 coming through here as well. So ideas coming into matter. Wow. And heart and mind in between. Yeah, heart and mind working together to bring the new ideas into matter. Very powerful energy for healing today. Very powerful energy. It is all about remembering how worthy you are. This could be the moment for some people to actually start something new, to actually make a big life change with regards to valuing yourself, possibly for the first time ever. For some people, there is this real nudge to value yourself. Do it now. Okay, this is time. You don't have to be whole to be able to do it, because who is whole at the end of the day? We're all working towards wholeness. That's the point of holistic, and the whole sort of holistic healing. The point is to become whole, to heal ourselves as a whole, not as, you know, individual separate parts, because our parts are not separate. They cannot be separated in any way, shape or form, any more than we can truly be separate from the divine, from God. It's impossible, okay? And if we try to deal with things and treat things as if they were, that's when it all falls apart, and it will never work beyond a certain point. But certain 1812. Oh, I just realised what I did there. The 1812 Overture, Tchaikovsky. Okay, I'm just going to bring that in. That's very, very grand music. 1812. All right. There may be warring factions within you that really need to come to a truce now. But now is the moment. Now is really the moment to start getting the help for yourself, or to continue getting the help for yourself if you're already doing it, to continue that healing journey, because all of us need healing. We all do, but it's head and heart need to work together. And there is this opportunity for something very, very new and different. It could be time to really take a completely different path for some people, but healing is absolutely highlighted today. So I'm going to have a look at the romance cards as well. Bring a few of those in as well. See how they fall with the numerology dice as well. Okay. partner. Don't do it. Venus, Aphrodite. Okay. Be practical. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's nice to have someone to like buy flowers for you and everything, but at the end of the day, you can buy them for yourself. Okay, there's a lot that you can do for yourself. I want to say for some people, stop looking to other people to fulfill your emotional needs, because a lot of them you can actually fulfill yourself. A lot of them you're supposed to fulfill yourself. Other people aren't supposed to do that for you. You know, and if you didn't get the love and the care and reassurance and being brought into the world that you deserved and should have had as a child, you cannot look to somebody else to do it as an adult. You no longer have the right to require, demand, or ask for that, unfortunately. It is what it is. It's not ideal. But we can love ourselves. Again, I want to go back to the woman in the red dress. We can show ourselves love. I want you to be very practical. Do not text your ex, please. I'm just going to say that. You know, if you're celebrating Burns Night and you've had one too many whiskies, do not text your ex. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. But love is definitely coming up as a strong theme, with Venus Aphrodite stepping in to remind us, you know, that yes, we can have the relationship that we want. We can have the love. Love is always there. It's always an opportunity. You know, it can come to us if we allow it in, if we let it in. And if we indicate that we want it as well, you know, we may act as if we don't want love at all. So the universe just kind of bounces off that and says, well, you clearly don't want a relationship, so I'm not going to send you one, because every time I send you one, you're horrible to them, or you tell them to go away, or you don't believe them when they say they like you. So work on being receptive to a relationship if you want one and you don't have one, or to have the kind of relationship that you want if you don't currently have it. And it may actually mean breaking up with someone that isn't right for you anymore. You know, otherwise you can't have the right relationship. You can't require that the person you're with morphs into the person that you want to be with. All right, that's not how it works, unfortunately. It'd be handy if it was, but we cannot affect other people's free will. And that's the bottom line in this reality. So do be a little bit practical in matters of the heart today. Do not get carried away, you know, especially if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling a bit low, like someone else could give you a bit of an ego boost. Try to be aware of that and act accordingly. You know, try to take responsibility for any emotional lows today. I want to say, show yourself the love, and that will kind of show the universe that, you know, you're open to somebody else bringing that to you as well. And I talk a lot about manifesting. If you want to read my book, which is about manifesting, which is Dream Bigger, How the Law of Attraction Really Works, I will of course link to that in the description below. It's always linked there if you want to read it. It's available on Amazon. So yeah, be a little bit practical, but also if you want to have a relationship, or if you want to improve your relationship, call in Venus Aphrodite. Call in Venus, call in Aphrodite, you know, whatever aspect of the goddess of love that you resonate most with. You know, it could be a different aspect, it could be a different name from a different culture, a different pantheon, but bring her in. Ask her in, she will help you. This is Aphrodite coming in on her little clamshell. Ask Aphrodite to help you. All right, there's no reason you can't appeal to gods and goddesses for help, for support. Okay, you can ask love angels, you know, but you might prefer to work with pantheons of gods, and that's up to you. I love working with Aphrodite. I've done a lot of work with her over the years. Yeah, so I'm just going to put that out there. But her wisdom, her guidance, you can ask her just for her guidance in your love life, and she'll be happy to provide that to you. Okay. Or you might want to do a ceremony and bring in some rose petals to the ceremony as well. She likes those. Okay, a season for everything. So we're looking at money and finance now with the little white cards. Golden opportunity. Mastering money, mindfulness. So it is all about mastering the mind today. It does feel very strongly, make it happen. Yeah, I feel very strongly that it is about healing, healing aspects of self, so that we can be the master of our own mind, so that we can be the master of our own self as well. I mean that in the nicest possible way, in the most holistic, whole, loving way possible. You know, it's not about beating yourself up so that you can do things, or, oh, I'm going to be the master of my own mind so I can force myself to get up at 4 a.m, although I hate doing that, and drink loads of cold water and have a plunge in an ice bath and go to the gym for 4 hours. And you know, you don't have to force yourself to do things you don't want to do. Okay, not to that kind of level of extreme, unless you really enjoy that and you want to do it. That's great. Yes, but mastering money mindfulness. So there is a nudge here as well. The self-love, the self-worth, that is important if you want to master money mindfulness, if you want to enjoy abundance, true abundance, okay? You need to have those feelings of worth, all right? And there are people who have lots of money who don't have the self-worth because they are aligned energetically to money, but it feels empty to them. So they might as well not have it because they are not experiencing true abundance, okay? And there is a season for everything. So if financially you're a bit low at the moment, that's okay. You can change it. Opportunities may be coming up. Be a little bit wary of opportunities coming in today, because the golden opportunity comes in on 15. Okay, and 15 in a tarot deck is the devil, for example. So I want you to think carefully about any opportunities that come in financially today. Okay, but certainly there is a possibility for change, for something different, for something new to happen, because we've got another 46. Oh, that's interesting. 46 and 46, I hadn't noticed that. That is interesting. So 46 coming in as a powerful number today. So that is the heart coming into matter. So the things that you love, that you care about, that you hold dear, having the possibility to make them happen. That is interesting. And 46 reduces to 10. 4 plus 6 is 10. So there is a real possibility for big change and shifts today. So this is a very, very interesting day indeed. I would say read all contracts twice or 3 times before you sign anything. Of course, always get advice if you need it, professional advice. But it is a very, very interesting day. Things could be coming to fruition. Things could be coming to maturity today as well, because we've got this number 40 here as well. So, and that could be in any aspect of life. That could be, an investment maturing, for example. So, interesting day indeed. So, we will move on to Thursday, the 26th of January, which is Australia Day. So moving on to Thursday, the 26th of January, Australia Day. Happy Australia Day to you, my peeps down under. We have number 4, Spirit, the Angels of the Four Directions. We have number 16, Coyote Spirit, Trust in Divine Detours. And we have number 4, Authority. Now this is a very interesting energy. Number 4 energy coming in quite strongly here again. I was sensing that with the numerology yesterday as well for Wednesday, but very, very interesting number 4 energy. Extra interesting because Thursday is the 4th day of the week if we start on a Monday as well. So 4's coming in thick and fast, and of course 16 is the square, 4 squared, 4 times 4 makes 16 as well. So I want to talk about governments and order, but I also want to talk about divine order here as well. Self-sovereignty and power, self-power, self-empowerment. Very interesting theme to come out, because we have the 4 of authority, but we also have the 4 angels of the 4 directions coming on number 4 here. So there is a reminder here very strongly, I feel, that authority, as we should know, only has the power that we allow it to have. Okay, and if we are not happy with what authority is doing for us, supposedly, very often it isn't working for us at all, or certainly doesn't appear to be, we don't have to stand for it. Okay, nobody has any divine authority over you except you, or the authority that you permit them to have by giving them permission of your own free will. There is a real feeling of the importance of self-sovereignty coming through today, and I do want to talk about Australia because it is on Australia Day. It does feel like there is a strong correlation there with Australia. There could be some upheaval on the political scene. There could be something going on there, particularly, I mean, not necessarily just this week in Australia, but not today. I mean, it could be this week, not just today. I do want to say for the week, not just today. So, yeah, but it's a very, very interesting. It feels like many people could be really wanting to go in a new direction. And the Coyote Spirit is interesting because when he shows up, very often it is that we're thrown in a different direction that we have no control over. But I want to say you're way more empowered than you think you are. Okay, and nothing happens by accident. So if a change or a new direction shows up that perhaps you think you weren't expecting, just take a moment and see how that could be playing out in a way that actually helps you and actually takes you towards the direction you did ask for, the thing you did ask for, the result that you want to achieve. Okay, it might seem like a bit of a dog leg to get there, yes, pun intended with the coyote, but this could actually be a stepping stone in the right direction. All right, so unexpected change could really take you in the right direction right now. It's not just a test, and Coyote Spirit can be, Coyote Spirit the Trickster, he can be a test sometimes. A test of our faith, a test of our trust in spirit, in ourselves, in God, and of the goodness of the universe. But it's more to it than that. I feel like you're a lot more in control. So if a change of plan comes in, if a fork in the road shows up, it's coming in for the right reasons, because it's taking you where you asked to go specifically. It's not that you're being dragged there by somebody else. It does feel, I want you to remember that you are in control of your life. You manifest your life. You create your life. Okay, take that authority back. All right, and I want to say that in many different aspects of your life. Take your authority back. Okay, nobody else has the right to tell you what to do, how to live your life. All right, self-authority, but also self-responsibility. Very, very strong theme for Thursday. So let's bring in, oh, the Spirit Oracle cards here. So see what else we have in this energy. Very powerful number 4 energy. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if you were seeing 4s or multiples of 4s. 444 is a strong number for this year anyway, as you'll know if you've watched my annual forecast. I'd love to hear from you to see what happens in your life today, especially if you live in Australia. Take time to heal. Oh, look, another 4. You couldn't make this up. Seriously, you couldn't make this up. They're being cheeky now, but they are giving us a number 4. And they are reminding us that our healing underpins everything. And not just our physical healing, our emotional healing, our mental healing. It underpins everything. Okay. And we basically live in a lunatic asylum. Okay, this is why people struggle so much with what they call mental health. All right, we live in a bloody lunatic asylum. Of course we're struggling. Okay, this is not a natural world that we live in. We live in an artificial society that really doesn't suit us particularly well, and we pretend that it does, or we're told that it should do, and that we're bad and wrong and stupid or ill if it does not suit us. And I just want to remind you of that. Are you aiming too low? Oh, interesting question. Coming in on 28-10-1. Are you aiming too low, and do you need to change it? What do you need to change? Okay, and it's not saying that you have to do everything today. It may just be taking one step in a different direction today. It could be something very unexpected is presented to you and you have an opportunity to go in that direction. But are you aiming too low in your life? Do you see yourself as a lowly peasant? Because on some level, a lot of people do. And that's sad. No is a complete sentence coming out again. Oh my goodness. Boundaries are so important this week. And we've got another 4 because we've got a 24. Okay, so a 24-6. Yeah. And a card just fell on the floor, so I am going to get it. Ooh, as we know, if cards go on the floor, we do get them. If one jumps out, it's a message. Learn to rest, not to quit. Yes. Even if the new direction is interesting, appealing to you, it may not be quite the moment to go in that direction. Or if you're feeling you can't continue, it may be that you just need a rest. Okay. So I want you to think very carefully about your life, what you're allowing yourself to have. And yes, I do mean allowing yourself to have. Be very honest with yourself today, but also if there are other people, authority figures, and this could be a boss at work who's just really overreaching, really overstepping the boundaries, encroaching in areas of your life that they have absolutely no right to. I want you to look at that very carefully and consider your next steps, because you do not have to put up with that, nor should you. Okay, so it is a day for self-sovereignty, self-responsibility, and just a reminder of how powerful, how strong you are as well. Could be a good day to actually do ceremony today, some sort of ceremony, ceremonial work if you do ceremonial magic, high magics, low magics. A very, very powerful day, very, very self-empowered day. So let's take a look at romance and love for Thursday, see what's going on there energetically. We have hard-won results. High highs and low lows. Self-sovereignty. Okay, they've been very cheeky now. Love it when they do that. Oh look, self-sovereignty is a theme for Thursday. They're so cheeky. Sorry, I'll have to stop laughing. Yep. There it is, 31. And that ultimately, that is how we help the group, how we help the collective. And the pink cards can be about other relationships as well, platonic relationships, the relationships we have with other people, with society, with our peers. And 31 can be quite altruistic as well. So I want to say self-sovereignty is altruistic. It is right to take full responsibility for your life and to make your own decisions. Otherwise, what are you? You're a child and you're putting on other people to do that for you. Why should they? Why the heck should they? Is my question. Oh yeah, but government's in charge and they make all those decisions and they decide that. Yeah, but why? Why should they? No wonder they run off and do their own thing and enrich themselves and fill their own pockets, because why the heck should they? You should be doing it yourself. Okay, so that reminder's coming in quite strongly today. Not where I was expecting to go, because I was expecting a message about love and romance. But again, self-sovereignty in your romantic relationships. Are you relying on other people to fulfill your needs? Again, this is a theme this week. Are you relying on other people to do things for you that you could actually do for yourself? Are you seeking a parent rather than a partner? Are you trying to parentify your partner? Have you parentified them? Have they parentified you? And these are questions that may need to be answered today. And it could be a case of looking at relationships that are a little bit unstable with high highs and low lows. Okay. Is there something you need to work on in yourself? And hard-won results. Yes, work is definitely needed, but work will improve your romantic relationship. So look what could possibly be improved. Cat person, dog person. Yeah. Remember that everyone is different, because we are all different, and sometimes opposites attract as well. But sometimes opposites attract because we seek the person that has what we lack. And that's how we can end up putting upon someone, expecting them to do the thing that we don't want to do. And that can be okay in principle, because believe me, I don't want to lift heavy objects and climb ladders. Not really my thing. It's not something I'm good at with these little hands. I'm not good at DIY, and I hurt myself very easily. So, you know, I'd rather have a nice strong man to do that for me, to put up the shelf, because, ow, I got a splinter. Believe me, I'm capable, but there's things I'd rather not do, that I'm less suited to, shall we say. But what I'm talking about here is where wounded people get into relationships with other wounded people who seem to have a thing that they lack. And then they'd seek to cajole, force, guilt the other person into healing them by providing the thing that they don't have. And it never works, because there isn't enough energy to go around. You must come into a relationship at 100%. Okay, and the problem is we see a lot of very, very wounded people who are maybe at 50, 60%, and they see someone else over here who's at 50, 60% as well, and they think, oh, together we could make 100. Well, you actually need 200. 100 isn't going to be enough. You're not going to complete each other. You're going to exhaust each other. Do your healing first. Do your healing first. Incredibly important message here. And if you're struggling in your relationship, it may be that you actually have to have a look at yourself. What are you expecting the other person to do? And Chrissy always says to me, I'm sure you know Chrissy, she's been on the channel many times, Chrissy Sawyer. I'll link her channel below, Zita Fuki. Fuki, I'm not sure if I said that right, I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. I tend to go a little bit too complicated when I pronounce things. I can't help it, I talk posh. So she says, you know, if you feel disappointed by somebody, it's because you put an expectation on them. What expectations are you putting on your partner that perhaps you could stop? Are you expecting things that they never agreed to do, never wanted to do, and it's that expectation that is causing you harm? I remember I spoke to a client one time in a reading, and I was seeing very clearly that her life was in disarray. It was in a very difficult situation. And I said to her, the help is there, but you must ask for it. And she said, no, I'm not asking for help. Help should be given. Help should be given. I shouldn't have to ask for it. Well, that's an expectation. And that expectation was holding her back from actually resolving all of these major problems she had in her life. And she was barely surviving. She was in all kinds of difficulties. And I said to her, no, you have to ask for the help. You know, my guides were really quite blunt with her in the end. They were saying, you have to ask for the help. And she just refused, point blank. No. Her expectation was that help should be given without having to ask. And that's why she was in such great difficulty in her life, which is very sad. But you can't help somebody who refuses to let go of an unrealistic expectation that's holding them back. So where are you holding yourself back here? Where are you holding yourself back in your relationship? Okay, so let's take a look at money and finance now. Ooh, okay, generosity of heart, mind and wallet. Beautiful, lovely energy. All right, let's take a look at the energy surrounding money finance today. We have sensible investments coming up again. So there's a really very sensible energy. There's a real theme here of being very sensible in your investments, you know, with your money. Be very sensible with your money this week. Wealth and assets. So with wealth and assets, I actually want to say health and assets as well. I almost said health instead of wealth when that card came out there. And I do want to say, you know, your health is one of your most important assets. So you should invest in it. That's my opinion, that you should invest in your health. So if there is an opportunity to invest in your health today or this week, think about it. Think about whether that's a sensible investment for you. It might be an investment in getting a gym membership. I mean, that's one we talk about, but it's not necessarily right for everybody, because getting a gym membership doesn't actually mean you're going to go or do anything or improve yourself. You might go once and then just waste a load of money. But is it about buying the right food? Is it about buying organic food? Getting the right supplementation in your diet, having somebody to actually assess your diet, look at your lifestyle, maybe give you some advice there. You know, health is wealth as well. If we don't have our health, what do we have? Well, we don't have very much. Generosity of heart, mind and wallet. Yeah, there's a little nudge to give, perhaps give to charity there as well. There could be a charity that needs your help, needs your attention. And of course, you know, it's always good to give, because when we give, that helps to free up the energy so that more can come back to us, and everything that we give is returned to us, of course, and very often with a little cherry on top as well, so that's nice. Very nice energy. So yeah, I feel there is a connection with health and money today as well. A connection with health and money, so that could be something to look at. It could be about getting private health insurance or something, maybe investing some money in that if you haven't done that already. That could be something that's sensible for you. Obviously everyone's different, so I don't know what's right for you, only you know that. Anything else? Great fortune. Well, that's nice to see again. Second time coming out this week, great fortune. Yes, that's a very good omen. I want to say there's a very good omen today, and I think the choices that you make today will stand you in good stead for the future. So let's move on to Friday, the 27th of January. So we're on to Friday now. Friday's cards. We have number 7, energy, joyous fun. Number 11, butterfly spirit, transformation is beautiful. And number 4, rest and rejuvenate. Now that's a nice feel. I have to say, I like that energy a lot. I'm loving Friday's energy. It does feel like a proper Friday, a real Friday energy coming through here. Friday energy coming through. Feels like a relief at the end of this week, particularly because I think it would have been quite challenging in many ways. But again, there is this nudge to rest. A reminder to rest, and sometimes resting can be taking a load off. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're sitting around doing nothing or lying down doing nothing. It can be that you're having fun, enjoying yourself, which is extremely rejuvenating, you know, when you're doing something that you're excited about or that you're enjoying. So there is that reminder here as well coming through for Friday. Maybe plan something for the weekend. Maybe there's a nudge here to plan something for the weekend, something fun, something that your inner child will enjoy. You know, it can be something physical as well. It might be I got ice skating or something like that. Could be fun for some of you. And butterfly spirit, that's wonderful. Coming through with the very wise 11-2 energy here as well. So interesting as well. If you add 7 and 4, we've got another 11 here. So 11 energy coming through quite strongly to me here with the 7 and 4 as well. Yeah. So to remain grounded and to remember, you know, that we have this physical being that we have to take care of, but also to remember that we have the wisdom of spirit here as well. And our spirituality is incredibly important to rejuvenate us as well. So it could be, you know, a little nudge to go into your spiritual practice, or to, you know, to do something that you enjoy connected to your spiritual practice or your spirituality there as well. But it does feel like there is a big change coming as well with the transformation card, the butterfly spirit card. It feels like you are undergoing some changes, or we are undergoing some changes today on Friday. It is a transformational day. I think we're going to see changes in governments. There are some political changes coming up today. It could be something connected to the royal family as well, because I'm really going to that crown, the royal family in my country, or perhaps in other people's countries. You know, there's not just the one. Something interesting going on there, something changing, something shifting, something is different. Something will be different moving forwards, and that's good. You know, it is all about self-sovereignty now. So the old systems of power are losing their grip at the moment. So we will start to see that. We will start to witness it. And, you know, the forces working against us, the malevolent forces, the malevolent people, yes, they will keep sending worse and worse things our way to try and stop it, but you'll watch them fail time after time. It is interesting. I keep going to a scene in the film Elektra. Apologies, nerdy reference there. With Jennifer Garner, which is not the best film. It's really not. I enjoy the references, and I enjoy the story, but it's really not particularly well done. And it just reminds me of when they're attacked. There's a scene where I think she's defending a family who have been attacked by these evil beings. I think they represent as ninjas, but they're not human. And she tells them whatever comes next will be worse, and that they have to be on their guard and they have to move and what have you. So I want to say, yes, when the negative people step away, when they give up, when they've been attacking us and they have to step back, they will send something worse afterwards. But don't worry, because it's nothing that we can't overcome. They're sending something worse because they're losing their grip. So when they do that, we should actually take that as a very good omen that we're winning, because they will keep sending things that are worse, people that are worse, to try and take us down, try and bring us down, try and drag humanity down to a neo-feudal level. And it's not going to work. So we don't have to acquiesce with any of their requests or requirements. We really don't. Such a rebel drinking my tea in the middle of a reading. Right. So really quite a hopeful energy. And I want you to remember how much fun there is in the world, how hopeful things are, to lift your energy up. And that is the most rejuvenating thing I think we can do, is to lift our energy up. And that's the energy of Friday. It's being uplifted. And if you're not feeling uplifted, find a way to feel uplifted. Find a way to remind yourself of who you are, how wonderful life can be. And that is the energy that we will continue to manifest moving forwards. So let's take a look at our little Spirit Oracle cards here. Oh, okay. What have they got to say? Are you aiming too low? Coming out again. And Declutter Your Life coming out on 7. Interesting, we've got 2 7s together, and the colour green coming in strongly as well. So there could be a connection to the spiritual heart here as well. I want to say, declutter your life. What needs to go? Who needs to go? Spiritual heart. So it's the higher heart, higher aspects of self, higher aspects of the heart, heart wisdom as well, coming through to actually guide you in many ways. I feel there are things you may be holding on to that you can let go of. Perhaps connected to childhood as well. Are you aiming too low on 28-10-1? Yes, it feels like, because we are in this energy of transformation on Friday and possibility for the future and seeing new possibilities for a more positive future, there is a reminder here not to be too lowly, because the human race has been beaten down for so long. We've forgotten who we are, you know, and those of us who are trying to remember, even then, we don't know what it looks like when we're not beaten down. You know, are you aiming too low? Oh, well, maybe I'd just like a better car and a house. Whoa. You're aiming way too low there. And it's not just about having stuff, of course. Yeah, I mean, things in 3D are useful to have because we have to live here at the end of the day. But let's aim a lot higher. Let's be a lot grander in our visions for the future. Let's be much larger and grander and more wonderful, more beautiful in our view for the future. Cat energy coming in, so boundaries, again, little reminder there. And that you might need some time on your own, because we do have the Rest and Rejuvenate card, which can be about spending time on your own, and the cat energy is reminding you here that you may actually want to, you know, step away from everyone and do your own thing. But cosmic alignment as well, so I think the astrology could be interesting on Friday. Might be worth having a look at your chart to see what's going on, and how the current astrology actually ties in with that. The numerology on this card is interesting because we have 43. So we have the 4 energy there, and 43, 4 plus 3 is 7. So again, I'm getting the 4 and 7 energy coming in here. So this could be some interesting numbers. 4 and 7 could be showing up for you today, could be showing you messages, could be important. So pay attention if you see them. But definitely cosmic alignment, yeah, there could be something happening, or that comes in that's kind of almost feels fated, like suddenly all the ducks in a row, suddenly it feels like the planets are all in alignment and something moves very easily for you. But it feels like it's something for you, something very independent of other people. It's not requiring other people to facilitate something for you. It just feels like something that shows up and feels easy for you to do, for you to achieve, for you to change. But very, very positive. And again, this could be a good day for the star seeds out there. You might feel like something has shifted for the better for you as well. So those of you who identify with the starseed energy. So let's take a look at relationships. Now this is romantic and platonic relationships, as I always forget to say. Because everyone wants to hear about romance and we forget that we have other relationships in our lives. Okay. Love Addicts Anonymous on 33. Not into it on 7, so another 7 coming through. Cat person, dog person. Interesting. So we've had these 2 cards already this week. So there is a continuing theme, I would say, of opposites attract for the wrong reasons. And that's what I would caution you about, especially because it's Friday. If you're going out Friday night, if you're hoping to meet somebody, be very careful, because sometimes opposites attract for the wrong reasons. As I was talking about previously, wounded people can attract other wounded people for the wrong reasons. And that doesn't necessarily help. Also be aware, be careful of, because we've got 2 cats here, be careful of fickle attachments. And dogs can be fickle too. You know, they're not, because everyone says, oh, dogs are so loyal. Well, they might be loyal to one person. They might be loyal to a small number of people, but they're not loyal to everyone. Okay, and I think we need to remember that. Be careful who you associate with. If you're single and looking to mingle, looking to find a new romantic partner, or even friendships as well. You know, this isn't necessarily just about romance. Be careful, because some people are just out for themselves and what they can get. Or some people just won't energetically be a match for you, because a lot of people who watch these readings in particular, I'm aware that many of you out there are part of my soul group or similar soul groups. You know, many of us are connected that way, which is why we find each other, which is lovely. But a lot of us have been going in a very specific direction energetically. Okay, and I don't want to use the word up or rise or increase or, you know, anything, because it's not like that. It doesn't quite work that way. It's not about, oh, well, we're more enlightened than people, it's why they don't like us, because that would be incredibly egotistical thing to say, and that's really not how it works. So keep your feet on the ground, please. Reduce the size of our heads. But you're going to meet people who just don't resonate with you energetically. They really, really don't. And it could be because you are a starseed, because you are so very different to them. But just be aware of that. I want to say, you know, don't get into a relationship for the sake of it right now. And if you are in a relationship that isn't working, there may be something to look at, whether you are indeed truly compatible, because it might be that it turns out that you're not. So let's take a look at money and finance just quickly here. With the little white cards, which is our money oracle. We have make it happen. I like that. Very empowering. The crystallized assets coming out again. I don't even know what that means, okay? I wrote this card because I challenged it. Challenged it? Oh, I challenged it. Maybe it challenged me. As you know, the words I say in these readings come through me, not from me, so sometimes other words will come out as well. Make of them what you will, because they may have an individual meaning for somebody watching. Abundance requires gratitude, question mark. Does it? That's a very good question. Very, very good question. And no, I'm not asking for an answer. But yes, it's time to make some things happen financially, and you can actually do that. All right, things don't have to be stuck. I think for some people, it might be that you have assets that you can't liquidate at the moment, or that you can't get access to money that you want, or things might be a little bit stuck with the energy of crystallized assets at the moment. It could be a tricky time. It could be time to actually make some changes in your investments or what you spend your money on as well, because it feels like there is a nudge to actually spend some to make something happen, to go in a new direction. Okay, now this is not financial advice, just to clarify. I keep saying that, but you know, I'm going to keep saying that because I used to work in financial services and it was drummed into us that we are not allowed to give financial advice, ironically. Abundance requires gratitude, question mark. Does it? Check your beliefs. Okay, if you're looking at your money, your finances, and you're not happy with your situation, I want to say check your money beliefs. It may be worth writing them down. I used to have a book, I probably still have it somewhere actually, that I got from a conference I went to, which was brilliant. There's an amazing weekend event. And in the workbook, there was a list of statements about money, and you had to agree or disagree with them. And it gave you a very clear picture of where you were. energetically and in your subconscious beliefs when it comes to money. Very, very interesting exercise to do if you can get hold of something similar. You know, it was things like money doesn't grow on trees, there's only a finite amount of money, oh, not everyone deserves to have lots of money, not everyone can be rich, you know, things like that. Agree, disagree, agree, disagree. Very, very interesting. So I want to say check your beliefs about money and abundance, because money is just an energy of exchange. It is not abundance in and of itself. Abundance is a much more vast concept than that. Money is just a representation of it in physical or digital form. So check your beliefs, because something could be holding you back that you need to change in order to move in a new direction, because there is an opportunity here. There's an opportunity, but it will come from self-reflection and perhaps a change of direction as well in your finances. But you can do it. I have utmost faith in you. There's no problem here. You can do it. Financial experts and advice. So it could be time to get some new financial advice. The markets might have changed since you first made an investment or looked into something or got some advice. You might need some up-to-date, some fresh advice or a pair of fresh eyes on your bank accounts, on your money. So that's something to think about. So let's move on to the weekend. So let's take a look at Saturday, the 28th of January 2023. We have number 2, Spirit card, your higher self. Number 53, Seahorse, Spirit, Watch and Wait. And we have number 3, the Solar Plexus Chakra. That's some interesting energy coming in here. So 53-8. Number 3, Solar Plexus. Interesting here because we've actually got the higher heart chakra, which is sort of exalted here in this card, which is being represented by this pink crystal. So that is the higher seat of love and compassion. It's a slightly smaller chakra. It's not one of the major 7. It sits above, sort of on the collarbone, above the normal heart chakra, which is green. I feel there is a connection to higher love, to our higher self here as well. So Saturday could be a day where we might be feeling quite sort of devotional. There could be some love coming in from the higher realms, from our spirit guides, from our angels, very beautiful feelings coming in. Or we may actually meet somebody who resonates very strong with us, or we may have met them the night before, because it feels like we're glowing. Some of us are really going to be glowing on Saturday, like you've met your twin flame, or you've met a soulmate, or just someone really magical and special. It comes through very strongly. So for some of us, I think that will be the case. And that's not necessarily a romantic thing. You know, it's not necessarily a romantic connection, but I think it will be for some. But going on the theme of romance, because that's where I want to go first with this. It feels like there could be somebody that we have connected with either on Friday night or on Saturday itself. But I don't think anything can happen immediately, but it feels really special. Really, really special for some people. But it does prompt us to do some work on self-worth with the solar plexus chakra coming up here. Self-esteem, self-worth, how we view ourselves. And also to remember not to be boastful as well, as a little reminder on Saturday, not to be boastful, not to be too full of ourselves, you know, in the wrong way, because it's easy to show off in the wrong way for the wrong reasons. Try to avoid doing that, particularly if you are trying to impress someone. You know, that could be romantic or platonic, but particularly in romance. So romance is definitely highlighted for Saturday, because that's the first thing I wanted to talk about when we got through that energy to those cards. That's kind of the images I was being shown before I pulled the cards as well. That was kind of coming through already. So let's see where else they want to go with this. Let's take a little look. Yeah, watch and wait. It's interesting. Or it might be that somebody's watching you, that you've met somebody and they think you're absolutely incredible, interesting, magical, and they will say something, but not yet. So it could be that, you know, you're waiting to hear from someone and you're here in due course, right place, right time. Yeah, you're here at the right time in the right place. There's also a reminder here that if you are looking for somebody for a new connection, it could be a business connection, a work connection, friendship, romance, it will happen at the right place at the right time. So if you've been asking for somebody or someone to come into your life, there's a reminder here that divine timing is at play. So if they haven't shown up yet, there is absolutely a strong, powerful reason for that. Clear away the old narrative, yes. Again, this goes with the solar plexus chakra here as well. So regardless of your life situation with regards to romance, friendships, etc., there is a need to clear out some old incorrect beliefs about yourself, I want to say. Saturday is a good day to do that. Clear away some old beliefs about yourself that are not helpful. And they may be grandiose. You know, they may be beliefs about yourself that are actually incorrect. You know, or that you have to act a certain way around people, otherwise they won't like you, that you have to be brash or act in a way that maybe isn't very nice. Self-aggrandizing, because that's the only way to impress people. Leos, you know I'm talking to you. And Aries. I know you're watching. Yeah, so just be aware of that, I want to say very much. And you are loved. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, the reassurance coming in there with you are loved, and playtime is over on 14. I'll get to that one. You are loved no matter what's happening in your life right now. Just remember that, even if things aren't moving in the direction you want them to. So good day to do work on the solar plexus chakra. Good day to work with citrine. Let's bring some citrine in here. If you don't have any, or if you can't access any, you can just look it up. I'm not going to say Google. I'm going to say pre-search it, because I like pre-search. Shout out to pre-search. If you don't already use it, use it. And find yourself a picture of some citrine and look at it, or print it out and look at it. You know, you don't have to have the actual crystal. You will still be able to connect to the energy of the crystal just from looking at it. Or take a screenshot of my video, you know, on your phone if you're watching on your phone. Take a screen grab, watch it that way, look at it that way. Citrine, good crystal to work with on Saturday for sure. There is a reminder about how loved you are, and you may actually get some proof of this from the universe. There may be an unexpected encounter or an unexpected coincidence that happens, I want to say, some synchronicity that just shows you how loved and cared you are by the universe. Loved and cared for that you are, just to prove to you something really nice that shows up just out of the blue. That feels very nice. But playtime is over. Interesting that should show up here. So yes, it does feel like it is necessary that we clear away some of these old beliefs so that we can move forwards in earnest right now in our lives. Very important, because it does feel like Spirit have a plan for you, like they really want to take you to higher highs. And again, this does tie in with romantic relationships, so it could very well be connected to your love life or to friendships, or even to the workplace as well. But there are big shifts, big changes coming, and it is connected to your heart, your higher heart, so your morals, your values, how you care and love about others, to higher levels of love and compassion as well. There could be a Buddhist theme coming in here as well, so if you're a practicing Buddhist, or if that's something that you're interested in, there could be something going on there too, possibly a possibility of going on a retreat or something. Right, now let's actually take some cards from the romance deck. See if we can see if there's anything to add here. So actually to do with romance or platonic relationships. Hard won results. Yeah, there's a reminder there that things don't just fall into place in relationships. We have to work for them. And working for them doesn't have to be unpleasant. You know, I mean, it can be if we're having to do some healing work. That can definitely be painful, but it's worth it. But it's also about working with the other person as well, and remembering that we're a team. So there's that reminder coming through. You are enough. Yes, so self-worth, very strong theme in all aspects of life for Saturday. You are absolutely enough, and you are loved. Isn't that beautiful? And love angels coming in. So yes, romance could be on the cards for some people on Saturday. That's quite an exciting energy when the love angels show up. That's kind of, ooh, I love that energy. It's, ooh, hello love angels. What have we got here then? So it could be something quite exciting, new. It's kind of heart fluttering kind of energy. It's really beautiful. Why now? Yes. And time apart, distance. So there could be a connection to long distance relationships. You may have just met somebody or be about to meet somebody who lives a long way away from you, and there's a very strong connection. And why now? Yes, everything's happening in divine timing right now. We've got another number 3 here and a 3 on the solar plexus chakra. So I do very much want to talk about it's happening now because it's time for you to change, ready for the next phase of your life. It's time for you to heal, ready for the new things that are coming, the new people that are coming in, so that you're ready for them. That's why now. Okay, anything that's happening today, everything that's happening today is divinely ordered, even if it's not particularly pleasant. It is necessary because there's something better coming for you, and that is why. And that is why now. So let's take a look at money and finance with the Money Oracle. See what we have here. Okay. Money Sage. Coming soon. Well, that seems to tie in very strongly. Okay. And, oh, I've got 2 cards here. Maneki Neko. I knew Maneki Neko was going to come out. And money, money, money. Money, money, money. No, don't sing, Helen. Right. Money Sage. Now, this is interesting because you can take this one in a number of ways. So take it as it resonates for you. So for some people, it's literally sage your money, clear the energy surrounding money or some money or finance in general for you, so that there is this new start, because this comes in on number 30. So it is about a fresh new start, a new paradigm, new way of doing things, but a big fresh start. It's very creative, it's very original, and coming soon. Okay, there are good things coming soon. There is change coming soon for you. For many people, this is an increase in finances actually coming in. Again, that's why it's necessary to do the work on the solar plexus chakra, on the self-worth, on the worthiness right now, or on some old habits that need to change the way we show ourselves in the world, the way we show up in the world. There are big things coming. It's important that we make some changes right now, positive changes for ourselves and for other people around us. Maneki Neko, I like that. Let's bring Maneki Neko in here. This is my smallest Maneki Neko. This is actually a little charm that goes on, put on a necklace or something. I suppose it's a bead. Was gifted to me, very cute. But the beckoning cat, the lucky cat, who shows up in so many different forms, originally from Japan, but very popular in all of Asia. I love Maneki Neko. Bedford loves Maneki Neko. I will actually link to a video where Bedford is attacking my Maneki Neko because that's something he likes to do. But Maneki Neko, the beckoning cat, is very much about bringing good fortune into your life, but specifically to do with business. So it could be, if you're in business, I particularly want you to listen to this. I feel there is a way for you to bring an increase into your business, for you to bring in more money, but it does require energetic clearing or perhaps some good advice, because money sage can be a sage, to help with your money. There could be some spiritual advice around money or business that is necessary or important for you as well. So that's something to think about too. But something big is coming financially, and you might get a glimpse of it today on Saturday. Something big is coming further on down the road, so it's time to get yourself ready so that you can receive, and receive in the right way, so that you are ready to manifest the best things for yourself. So let's move on to Sunday. So Sunday, we are on the 29th of January 2023, number 8 card, Spirit, the Healing Light. Number 1, Ant Spirit, time to collaborate. It's funny, I was thinking about ants earlier when I was making the tea. 15, Temptation. I was thinking about ants because I spilt some sugar. And as many of you know, if you spill some sugar in the house, you better clean it up or you get ants. It's coming in. I don't think we're going to get any ants coming in at the moment because it's freezing cold. It was like -8 last night. So hopefully no ants. Thank you very much. Right. So Sunday's energy. What's going on here then? Wow, it's almost like a contrast here between the white light of heaven and enlightenment and everything good, and the temptation of the dark and shadows. It's almost kind of demonic energy comes off this card. There's a real dichotomy, there's a real difference. It's like the light and the shadows showing up, and then the ant spirit in the middle telling them to actually work together. Curious. Is it time for them to team up finally? That's interesting. I think we may see on a sort of a more national, international level, people that we thought were working against humanity may seem to switch sides or work for us now. And people that we thought perhaps were good were working for humanity, for the good of humanity, for the future. We may actually see another aspect of them. So this is very interesting blend of energies here. People we thought were dark actually helping. People we thought were light actually maybe not as shiny as we thought they were, but that's okay. It's very misguided to put all of your trust and faith in somebody else. Okay, put your trust and faith in yourself, put it in God, put it in the angels, your spirit guides, but don't put it in another person and expect them to fix your life for you. That's not their job. They don't have to. It's not their job, nor should they even try, because generally it's not going to go well. So it could also be a day of opposites, on a more personal level as well. It could be a real day, what's the word I want? A word of opposites. A day of opposites. I don't want to talk about opposites attract, because this isn't a relationship thing. It's more about extremes and bringing extremes together. It's about balancing number 2 energy. So I feel for many people it is actually reconciling some things that happened in 2022 in particular, but also things that happened in 2021 and 2020. So it's kind of reconciling the past few years, seeing clearly, seeing the wood for the trees. actually getting a lot more clarity and a lot more balance in our worldview, but also on a more personal level as well, really getting clarity. It said Clarence then, so Clarence could mean something to somebody as well. Getting Clarence in our personal lives. Hi, Clarence. Yeah, and I think that is the key, because we have this key here, and that is where the light shows up on this card. And that's the interesting thing, because the key is here. And I kind of almost want to say this is like this ball of light is shining through the key here on the card, because it is about making the right choices and remembering that we are, we're not prisoners, we are sovereign human beings. We have choices. We have decisions to make. We can make better choices for ourselves. We can choose to heal. Okay, because the dark energy, the shadow energy, is just the unhealed, wounded aspects of the self or of society. And there is an opportunity for healing here, and that is the key. I feel that is the key to heal the darkness within, but also the darkness within society. And I want to say as well, we have an opportunity to do healing on ourselves, on our shadow. Definitely a beautiful work for shadow day, for shadow work, for integration work here. And I don't call myself a light worker anymore. I haven't done for a number of years. If anything, I'm an integration worker, because I'm here to integrate the shadow, heal the shadow, and integrate all aspects of self so that we become whole. That is the point. And I feel there's a wonderful opportunity for healing, for self-healing, for healing for other people. It could be your own shadow, to work on that, to give yourself an energetic healing session, a Reiki healing session, you know, or whatever, however you like to do it. But that is important. And I want to say as well, on a very personal level, as we do our own personal healing, we heal the collective by osmosis. We heal the collective because energetically we are all connected and we are all one. So how could we not? By doing our own healing, we are healing an aspect of the collective too. So it is always worth doing your healing, and it is very unselfish to do your own healing, because you're actually helping to heal everybody else too. Isn't that wonderful? Very beautiful. Very interesting energy as well. A day of opposites, but opposites coming together, I think. And that's going to be a vast subject, and that will show up differently for everyone, I think. So, could also be time to make a choice which direction you're going in now, because as I talked about in my my podcast, which I haven't done any podcasts for a while actually, I'm planning a new series this year for the podcast, a series 2 for 2023. I've talked many times about the Great Separation, and it's becoming more and more obvious that humanity is kind of splitting into two groups. The groups who energetically are moving, are for want of a better word, ascending, and those who have chosen to go back down into the dark, sort of more quote-unquote satanic energies, and to allow themselves to be manipulated and controlled. So it feels like there's something to do with those two groups could be on the world stage today as well. Right. Okay, what else they've got to say to us? What is truth and where does it lie? Well, there is the question. What is the truth? That is a question we will need to ask ourselves. What's true here? Do I believe that? What is true? Do I know that it's true? Feathers from heaven. So at the same time, what appears to be light, is it too good to be true? Is it the truth? Is that really the right path? And what appears to be dark, there is love, there is healing from the angelic realms, so is it really bad? Okay, and as human beings, you know, we want to put everything into boxes. We want to categorize everything in our minds, because that's how the lower mind works. It wants to stick a label on everything, and labels aren't necessarily helpful. They divide us more than they do anything else. Certainly this obsession with labels at the moment is extremely divisive and extremely unhelpful. So I would encourage anyone to step away from that, and to show themselves love, healing and compassion. But also, some people may need to get off their high horse. Okay. No mud, no lotus. Every master was once a disaster. How many times have we seen no mud, no lotus this week? I think it's a couple already. Yes. There is a reminder that no matter who you are, what you've been through, or who you were, tomorrow is another day. We can learn from our darkness. In fact, we must learn from our darkness, from our shadow, rather than shunning it. And that is what will bring balance to the world, to the universe, and also to our individual hearts as well. beautiful. There's a lot of angelic presence on Sunday, so there's a lot of wisdom coming through here as well. So angelic specifically, I would say, or much higher guides, so ascended masters. It's very, very high level spiritual guidance coming through. So if that's something you're channeling, you might actually want to write it down. Okay, so romance and relationships. What do you want? What is it that you want? Self-care comes first. Yes, again, it's about healing. Sunday is very much about healing. Healing so that you can get what you want as well. Because if we are unhealed, we won't get what we want. Or we may not be able to get the person that we want because they won't be attracted to us because we're not healed. And they are, perhaps. So energetically, we may not be a match. Rainbows and unicorns, unrealistic expectations. Yes, it may be time to let go of some unrealistic expectations. And again, those unrealistic expectations can come from unhealed wounds, unhealed trauma. So there could be something to look at there. Because romance is on the cards, and there could be a temptation here to very much go in the wrong direction or to repeat a negative cycle, I want to say. So be very clear about what it is that you actually want in romance. And this goes whether you're in a relationship or not at the moment. Be very clear about what it is that you want, because if you keep accepting what you don't want, then that's all you're ever going to get. Okay, let's empower ourselves to actually get what we want, ask for what we want, and then draw a boundary and say no when we don't get it. Okay, and that's not about being selfish, it's about having boundaries and standards, because some of us, of course, weren't allowed to have boundaries, weren't allowed to have standards, maybe as children or as young adults. Maybe we grew up in poverty, maybe we grew up with caregivers who did not give us the care and attention that we needed and deserved. So we may have a very skewed view of the world and think we just have to accept whatever we get, and you absolutely don't. And today is a good day to actually have another look at that and heal another layer of that kind of wounding. So, because romance is on the cards here, it looks like somebody wants to come in. If you're waiting for someone to come into your life, it looks like they're there waiting in the wings to come in, but you don't want them to come in when you're at the wrong energetic level. And you don't want to approach them in the wrong way either. It could be right person, wrong time, and that's always sad. So let's take a look here at money and finances. For Sunday, Money Sage, second time out. That came out, I think, on Saturday. Golden Opportunity. Financial Audit. Yeah. If you haven't done your tax return, might be a moment to do it. Okay. Financial Audit. So, could be time to have a look at your finances, see what's going on there, get some advice, get some better advice. And I think this is the same theme as we had on Saturday, which is about advice. Because there is actually an opportunity coming in, but be aware that it may be too good to be true, because it comes in on 15 energy, like the temptation card. So there could be something very tempting for you that you actually want to spend your money on, and it might not be a good idea to do that. So make sure you get some good advice before making any large purchases on Sunday, please, because it could turn out to be absolutely terrible decision. So let's move on now to the spiritual guidance message for the week. So our cards, we have number 27, Joy. Number 29, You Are the Universe, because you are. Number 32, Divine Masculine. And number 13, Insight. Wow. Okay. Some beautiful energy coming in here. So a lot of wisdom coming in here as well. But the Divine Masculine showing up, I'm liking that energy a lot. Very empowering energy coming in this week. But reminding us that we don't live just to work and die. We're not here just to pay taxes and suffer. That's not the point. Joy needs to be a part of your life. And if it's not, it may be time to look at how you can change that, what you can do about it. Happiness should be a part of your life. How can we bring that in? How can we end suffering for ourselves and other people? How can we bring in more joy, more ease, more happiness? And that's not about imposing political systems on them, because Lord knows that won't work. It is about empowering ourselves and others to take self-sovereignty, to take full responsibility for our lives. That is the most important message, and that is the message of the Divine Masculine. I feel it is self-sovereignty. And without the Divine Masculine, it is difficult to have that self-sovereignty. And I think that is one of the big reasons that the Divine Masculine is so very much under attack at the moment, because the dark powers that have been in control of this planet for so long do not want humanity to take full responsibility, full agency, full self-sovereignty back from them. Because once we take that, once we realise who we truly are, they have no power whatsoever over us. They can try and hurt us, try and attack us, but they are so disgustingly outnumbered, it wouldn't actually make any difference. It certainly wouldn't do them any good. They would be wiped out. Very insightful energy coming through with the insight cards. There's a lot of information coming through from the higher aspects of self, from the angelic realms, but I also want to say from the body. The body is trying to talk to you at the moment. Listen to your body and to what it needs. It has great wisdom, and no matter what ailment, what illness, whatever we might be struggling with in the body, there is always a spiritual solution, I believe. Okay, not medical advice, but there is always a spiritual solution on the energy level. So I would say listen to your body, ask it what it wants, ask it what healing modalities it would like you to look at, to invest in, to learn. It may be a time to look at supplements for the body, to get some advice there on what you should or could be taking to improve your body's health, to raise your vibration as well. Because there is this reminder that you are the universe, you are not separate from God, you are God in human form. So how could you not be able to find the solutions if you truly believe that you can get to that vibration and you can get there? Why would you not be able to find the solutions? Why would we not? We've been told for eons that we are these lowly, horrible worms, and the latest fashion to keep humans down, which has been going on for a while, other than repressing the Divine Masculine by trying to force men to act like women, or to act in feminine ways. And you know, it's important for men to understand the Divine Feminine, to be able to embody it and hold it as well in balance. But at the end of the day, there is, I think we can all agree, a war on the Divine Masculine, which is very unhealthy and very unhelpful, which is why we are seeing something of a backlash to it, which is to be expected, but also healthy. But I forgot where I was going with that for a second. But it is important that we embody Divine Masculine. Where was I going? My guides just took me off in a completely different direction then for a second. But there is this reminder, we are the divine. We are the divine. You know, we are God in human form. We must stand up now. We must help ourselves. That is absolutely crucial, absolutely important. So I'm just going to pick some other cards because I have no idea where I was going, but suddenly I got taken off that path. So for whatever reason, I wasn't meant to say that at that moment. So, and that's one of the reasons I don't actually edit these videos. I just kind of film. I do have to pause occasionally, but I do just film in one, because even when I trip over myself, even when I make mistakes, it's important, because the words that are coming out, they might seem like mistakes, but they will be meaningful for somebody. I will say something wrong, but say with different words, but it will be meaningful to somebody, because that's how this works when I work with the energy. Taking full responsibility for your life brings freedom. Oh yeah, look at that. Self-sovereignty, anyone? Yes, please. The myth of authority. It's a myth. Look up the work of Larkin Rose if you haven't heard of him. I'll link below. Taking full responsibility for your life brings freedom. Yes, it does. Oh, but that sounds like a lot of work. Would you rather be a slave? Because I wouldn't. Without the night, you wouldn't be able to see the stars. Yes. There is this reminder as well that, and I believe this is the point of this lifetime, is to remind us, and for us to learn experientially as well, what it is like to be downtrodden, what it is like to know the darkness, so that we can appreciate the light and see it for what it truly is. Because without experiencing its opposite, or what appears to be its opposite, it can be very difficult to truly understand something. So, yes, it is necessary for the night to come so that we can see the stars. There could be an actual link to astronomy or to astrology there for some people as well. And I'm just being told we're going to do charms today. Now, I've been using these over on my other channel, Cosmic Dragon Tarot. If you haven't seen that channel, I will link above. Let's take a look, see which charms want to come out. Now, these are really gorgeous. I use them for symbolism. It's similar to how I interpret the symbols, is similar to how I interpret dreams as well, but and they can mean individual things for people watching as well. So see what they mean to you. What charms have we got here? What do we need to know this week, please? Oh, just 3. One more? Go on then. Go on then. Oh, interesting. Turtle spirit. I love the turtle spirit. Very wise, very beautiful, the turtle coming in to help and guide us. He has a hard shell and a soft inside, and that's kind of how we need to be at the moment spiritually. We do need to be very strong. We do need the divine masculine to protect us. We do need strong men to stand up right now, to do the right thing. Very important, to protect the soft underbelly of humanity. But ultimately, we will always be victorious, because how could we not? Because we are everything. Yeah. It's the Monopoly dog. It's like a little Scotty dog here. Very cute with a little collar on there. And it always reminds me of the Monopoly dog, so there could be a connection to Monopoly for some people there. It could actually be about buying property. That seems to be a theme coming up for some people. But the little Scotty dog coming in, very cute. They're very hardy little dogs, the terriers. You know, they're very strong despite their small size. Quite a hard bite. Yeah, very resilient. I think, to me, the Scotty dog reminds me of resilience. Possible link to Scotland there as well. I mean, this week is Burns Night as well, on the 25th, so I keep getting connections to Scotland. I keep going there in my mind. I keep getting Scottish people coming into my mind, so there could be a connection there as well. I'm my own background. I have some Scottish connections on my father's side. My surname is Scottish, for anyone who's interested. Right. Shut up, Helen. So the bird. I want to talk about freedom here, because this is like a swallow or a swift type bird. The ones that are extremely fast, very manoeuvrable. We only see them in the summer. And I want to talk about freedom. The freedom of movement as well is extremely important. We must not allow people to take away our freedom of movement. We must remember that we can change course at a moment's notice if necessary, and that could be a very important theme this week. It may be important or necessary for us to change direction at a moment's notice. But we will be able to do so. It will be easy. We can easily do that. We can call on the higher aspects of ourselves to do that, to help us, even if we weren't expecting to, and we think, oh no, I thought my spiritual path was in that direction. Well, just like the Coyote card, we had the Coyote spirit, trust in divine detours. We had that, I think, was that for the overview of the week? Oh, Monday, I forget. I love that card. He's been showing up a lot lately. But trust that you can make the detour when you need to do it. You can do this. Humanity can do this. Okay, we will go in the right direction, even if we have to take many, many detours and course corrections. And then a pair of glasses. This is curious, because I was thinking about somebody who wears glasses. They just popped into my mind. Are you seeing things correctly? What are you seeing? Is it time to update your prescription? Is it time to update your spiritual prescription? Okay, your spiritual vision. Are you seeing correctly? I want to address clairvoyance here as well, specifically, which is the ability to see either the future, or to see into the astral, or to see in mediumship, you know, to see people who've passed over, to see spirit. But it's a kind of vision. We may see with our physical eyes, or we may see clairvoyantly on the screen of our mind. I do want to talk about clairvoyance very much. That seems to be highlighted this week. Yeah, connection to glasses, vision, clairvoyance. So that could mean different things for different people, of course, because remember, this is a group reading, so, you know, take what resonates for you, leave what doesn't. Very interesting. I'm actually wearing my glasses as I film this, and I don't normally wear them on camera, because I don't like them. So that could be a reminder to me I probably need to get an eye test. Right. We're going to the money cards. Let's bring in the money cards. Come on, what's our spiritual message for money for this week? You are already abundant. Yes. And you are the universe, so why wouldn't you already be abundant? We already actually have everything that we think we want. We just don't see it manifested in this reality because we're in a 3D video game right now. But if you imagine, I mean, I don't know if any of you watch Rick and Morty, but in that particular show, there is a video game called Roy. That's kind of how I see reality. You put on this virtual reality headset and you're transported into another life to live this life as this person called Roy. And Rick and Morty is pretty funny, which is why I'm laughing, just remembering the episodes with Roy. But this is a video game. None of this is real. You are already abundant. You already have everything that you need. And you have the right to have it here as well if you want it. We can manifest and create way more than we think we can. We've been told for so many centuries, so many eons, that we are small, lowly, worthless, useless, incapable, and the opposite is true. And in particular, it's the people who have told us that who are the ones who are incapable, useless, worthless, or they believe that they are, and so they project it onto us to make themselves feel better. It's really psychopathic. It's very unpleasant indeed, but that is the truth of it, especially those who say they have a divine right to rule. They are the ones with the worst self-esteem, self-worth overall. They are the ones with some of the deepest wounding, which is why they could be some of the ones who do the worst things, or have done it over history. I mean, take a look in a history book, my lord. The atrocities carried out by those who believe they are better than others. And I think that's something that is going to come into focus this week as well. Possibly past deeds or present deeds. Sharing the load. And 42. Self-sovereignty coming up again. I like how that's coming in. That's cheeky. Second time, but it's appropriate. Now the pink cards are normally connected to romance or relationships, but yeah, self-sovereignty in the relationship with self. More importantly, you know, so taking self-sovereignty, balancing the divine masculine and feminine within yourself, deciding you are the boss of you. Nobody else has the right to tell you how to live your life, to tell you that you're wrong for who you are, for what you want, for, you know, we all have a very deep and innate sense of right and wrong, unless you're a psychopath or a sociopath. They probably don't. But even they can learn it, they can be taught it. They may be lacking emotional empathy, but they can learn cognitive empathy. So it does feel like there is support coming in from the higher realms, from the higher aspects of all of us. I want to give a book recommendation this week as well. I know this is getting a bit long, but we're nearly there. For Neil Donald Walsh. And if you haven't read his books, Conversations with God, there's a few of them. Start off with the first one. If you haven't read any of them, they're wonderful. I read the first one in a day. I was like whipped through it. I read the second one in a day, the day after. Amazing. They made so much sense to me. I read them a long time ago. But we are very much supported, loved, supported by God, by the universe, by the angels, by our spirit guides, by the ascended masters, by all of the aspects of everything that's ultimately just another aspect of us. Or another aspect of you, of I, of me. We are not alone in this. And I want you to remember that no matter how dark the night seems to get, you are never alone. You are never, ever forsaken, because that would be impossible. We will see the light soon enough. I think the balanced light of the future is going to begin to show itself. I do feel... and I've talked before about connections to what might be called alien beings. They're actually, from a lot of them, from different dimensions. And I think they will be stepping forward to help and guide us. Do be aware of the false light of the people pretending to be aliens that actually aren't. But I do think there is genuine communication coming through to some of us as well from the higher realms. So just know that you're never alone. Never alone. Crystallized assets. Why does this card keep coming up this week? This is just taunting me now, because I don't even know what that means. I wrote this card and I don't know what it means. Okay. In this particular instance, I do want to talk about actual crystals. So work with your crystals this week, because I think a lot of wisdom could actually come through. I want to talk about talking crystals. What are talking crystals? My guide's just given me those words, talking crystals. Some crystals specifically hold memories, they hold information, and they can actually act as almost like a book, to read a book if you meditate with a specific crystal that holds information, and it can literally talk to you. So that's interesting. So that's something for you to try if that resonates for you. Or it might just be time to buy some new crystals. But notice we've got 2 13s here, so changes are coming. Changes are coming, don't worry. Change is coming. Many people will realise the errors of their ways. Many other people will awaken to those that are manipulating, controlling and harming others. It's all going to happen. It's all going to happen. We'll see the big change by 2029. Don't worry, it'll all be okay. Everything will be okay, I promise. And if it's not okay, then it will be. So, I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you so much for watching. If you have watched the end, if you could please put a comment for me with crystallized assets. And I'll know that you watched to the end with me. It's been such a pleasure to have you here. It's been such an honour to read the cards for you. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to my second channel, Cosmic Dragon Tarot, if you haven't already. Please leave a like on this video. Please comment if there's something you would like to share with us. I do love to hear your comments about how things go for you, particularly if you're in Australia or in Scotland. I'd be very interested to hear from you guys. I will see you very soon. You take very, very good care of yourself. Bye-bye.